Hello. Hi, everyone. I don't know who's gonna show up today because we have weird schedule change. Oh no, did I press the wrong thing? Oh no. Don't you dare open. Yeah, so hi Elle. Hi Nessa. Since I got a new job and it's gonna be not what I expected. The schedule is like different than I expected. I thought I was gonna be able to have like the same. Wait, let me switch over. I thought that I was gonna be able to have like the same schedule, but it's not the same. So I'm gonna have to stream later at this time if I want to stream at the same time as having the job, and I don't want to stop streaming. Obviously, we have so much to do. We're not gonna stop streaming, so we're just gonna have to have the stream start at this time instead of a little bit earlier. Yeah, I got a good job too. It's pretty good. Today we're gonna be playing Innsmouth Case. The Innsmouth Case, you know? Thank you, Ness. The Innsmouth Case, you know? It's... yes. Okay. I'm gonna click play now. I don't know how to say that word. You were alone on YouTube? Yeah. That's okay. Okay, so I've never played this game before. Seems interesting. Let me go ahead and get the capture set up for it. That's not right. There we go. We're gonna turn off the music because I feel like it might have its own music. Innsmouth. I don't think it's Smith. Innsmouth. Is it Myth? Innsmouth? Well, Cthulhu's everywhere on this. It's quite interesting. Oh, no. Calm down. Okay, there we go. We got it. All right. So this game, I think, is like it's almost like an ebook kind of thing. Innsmouth. Okay, Innsmouth. So today we're gonna be playing Innsmouth, the Innsmouth Case. So let's see. It's gonna be kind of like I have to like read the book basically. I think it has like inspirations from like H.P. Lovecraft. I've never read that, but well, yeah, it's like an e-boy exactly. So I've never read any of those books, but we'll see. It should be interesting. I know a lot of people like that. God damn it. Let's put the volume down. I think that should be okay. You guys let me know if you want me to raise it up or anything. We might do different voices, I'm not sure. Alright, let's go. What's this? I don't know what this is, so let's just go to new game. Cthulhu! Your friends in a strange world of Innsmouth, but we recognize the I can't speak today, which is not a good day to not be able to speak. Problematic beliefs of H.P. Lovecraft. This game has been produced by a group of people who believe in inclusion and equality. Well, I've never heard of that, but that's good. At the end of each chapter, there are 35 chapters total. At the end of a chapter, the screen fades black and a green save value. Okay. You always end the game after such a save point to make sure none of your progress is lost. So at the end of every chapter, 35 chapters. Okay, we'll see how long the chapters are. The last rays of sunshine filter through the blinds of your empty office. The pathetic stench of whiskey, cold cigarette smoke, and canned ravioli fills the air. What? The screeching tires and constant beeping of car horns out there on the street tell you that it's gone. 8 p.m. People are on their way home, finishing their day. You should join them. You decide... Let's stay at our desk. Your day was long and frustrating. You are running out of ideas on how to handle the calls of people who want money from you. A cold shiver runs down your spine as you flick through a pile of unpaid bills. On top of the pile is a reminder from your landlady you're 2 months behind on the rent. The next one is a 3-figure invoice from a games company for in-app purchases. You tried to claim them as business expenses in your last investigation, but somehow your client refused to pay. Oh. Then there's a second reminder from your internet provider threatening to cut off your connection. You might take legal action because without internet you can't work or live. You really need... I think you need a little fresh air. You jerk open the blinds. Amongst the dust, the last rays of light shine into your eyes like a laser sight in a spy flick. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to adjust. Your gaze settles on the Horn and Hooves pub across the street. How many simple jobs this dive has given you? Jealous wives whose husbands you had to spy on. All you had to do was lie and wait at the window and take pictures of them coming out of the dirtiest hole in town. You close the window before you see anyone you know. You breathe a deep sigh. It may not have been a successful day, but at least it's over. You're looking forward to a classic Friday night, watching old mystery series at home in sweatpants and getting drunk on cheap booze. Since the early afternoon, you have been staring at the foreboding bottle of liquor at the other end of the room. Up until now, a vague sense of professionalism has kept you from drinking yourself into oblivion. Now, nothing stands in the way. Suddenly, you hear someone at the door. Who is it? The door slowly cracks open with a timid creak. The unknown guest pauses, then in a breathy and melodic tone you hear a woman utter, "Hello?" Your insides cramp. You suddenly realize that you haven't cleaned your office at all this year. This year? Jesus. You... Try to clean up a little bit, maybe. Wait a minute! Wait! You shout in a pitch that is at least 2 octaves higher than intended. Wait! There's no time to pick up all the crumpled pieces of paper on the floor. You gaze across the total mess on your desk. A weird, undefinable rust has formed on the wood. You've never noticed that before. You try to hide it by putting some unpaid bills over them. They get stuck immediately. Nice! By the light of the desk lamp, you now see more than a silhouette. A breathtaking woman lights up your office. Is she breathtaking, though? Is she? No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50. Hard to say. Clad in black, a skin-tight... Oh. No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50. Hard to say. Clad in black, a skin-tight dress, culminating in a décolleté that seems to defy the laws of gravity. A smoky eyeshadow, as dark as algae, washed ashore. Blonde, coiffed, wavy hair under a dark beret The faint light of the setting sun catches on the strands of her hair, and you wonder how many heads this woman must have turned during her prime. She's completely different from your usual customers. Nervous bankers with sweat stains under their armpits, convinced their wives has something glowing with the mailman. Every move she makes is calculated grace. Oh my god, goals. That's what I want to be. Smooth as an eel, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. Determined, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. Which is a little bold. Without asking you first, but as a professional, you're not giving anything away. She seems to want to play the seductive damsel in distress. The quiet, amused voice of your subconscious is pleased that the stranger may be sharing your enthusiasm for film noir cliches. A far louder voice is surprised that this woman seems to think that a sexy pose and revealing clothes could win you over, and both voices agree that they don't like being manipulated. You don't think that the stranger perched on your table is trying to recover from a hard-working day as a lingerie model, and therefore you see no logical reason for her behavior. When she begins to speak, her voice is smoky and full of promise. My name is Dahlia Mars. I'm looking for a private investigator. I was told you are one of the best. She extends her hand. You've come to the right place, lady. What can I do for you? You sit back in your chair and fold your hands over your stomach. The woman seems a little irritated that her provocative behavior seems to have had no effect on you. Good. Can't let her know. She moves from the edge of the desk and sits down in the chair opposite you. Yes, She clears her throat. As she continues to speak, the smoky seductiveness creeps back into her voice. My name is Dahlia. I need help. Ask for more details. It's about my daughter Tabitha. She has disappeared. You're pulling out paper and pencil. This is going to be a walk in the park. A walk in the kidnapped kids park. What? What does that even mean? Well, when did you last see her and where? The woman puts on a fake smile. We live in Innsmouth. It's a small port town north of Arkham. You frown. This is a bit vague. What was your child doing when you last saw her? What hobbies does she have? Oh, you know, kid stuff. They just run around and play with their yo-yos, that sort of thing. What? Dahlia nervously combs her hair through her hair. Oh, her hair through her hands through her hair. What does your daughter look like? She's only 8 and the sweetest girl you can imagine. She's been missing without a trace since last week. None of her schoolmates have seen her and no one knows where she might have gone. She hands you a photo. Look, this is my little munchkin. I agree. What is that? Good heavens. Is this supposed to be a joke? Is that really the face of a child or shoddy? Shoddy? Shoddy. Photo edit. Are you being filmed as part of a reality TV show? A bit of stomach acid and the last bite of lunch slowly but surely make their way up into the back of your mouth. You... Oh my god. Swallow it. Swallow it. With narrow eyes, you swallow the bile and involuntarily pull a face. Dahlia continues to look at you hopefully. She obviously didn't notice your little mishap. That was close and could have been unpleasant. I am so desperate. Her eyes locked with yours. Ask more questions. Dahlia nervously combs her hair through her hair. Does your daughter have any friends? Classmates? Sports club members? Anything like that? Dahlia silently shakes her head. Very strange. You're about to ask if the girl at least had imaginary friends, but you hold back. Yo-yos? Hold on, yo-yos? Ring, ring, ring? Can you hear that? It's the 90s calling, and they want their outdated toys back. What? Dahlia blushes. Normally you would find this quite attractive, but the case of a missing girl beckons, and you're utterly unconvinced by the way this woman pretends to be a mother. She remains silent. Confront her. Something's fishy here. You have a nose for this sort of thing. That's why you became a private investigator. Or to be more precise, that's why you took on an online detective course for that. A course that, for a one-off fee, provided the necessary qualification. It's time to take your visitor to task? Okay, shoddy. Why did you come to me? Innsmouth is several miles away from here. Why do you want to hire me? I wouldn't even hire myself. Dahlia crotch. Dahlia crotch. That's it. What do you care? Do you want to be paid or not? Right now, I just want the truth. You're just sticking to your principles. That's exactly what your instructor warned you about. Still, it feels good. Dahlia takes a step back and releases her tightly crossed arms. I already tried loads of other investigators. Anyone who seemed trustworthy really, but no luck. That's why I'm coming to you. Ouch. Ask more questions. What about her father? What about Tabitha's father? Are you separated? Often children reappear with family members. Dahlia smiles sadly. My little one can't swim well enough for that yet. Your pen remains on the same spot on the notepad. What's that supposed to mean? Let her talk. Dahlia turns her gaze away from you and looks dreamily, longingly out of the window. Her father was a fisherman, like most in the village. A few years ago, he went out to sea but never returned. His boat was washed ashore weeks later. His colleagues told me that he had finally followed the call of the waves. You keep quiet for a moment. Deceased family members are always a sensitive subject. My sincere condolences. She seems calm. Somehow, I always knew that moment would come. I think my husband is in a better place now, and at some point, I'll join him. You take a closer look at Dahlia's. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you're getting sleepy. You take a closer look at Dahlia's outfit. Judging by her behavior and clothes, you would never have taken her for a fisherman's wife. You inquire about more details of the case. I have no further questions. God damn it, I wanted to go back. You mumble more to yourself than to her. Dahlia stretches her neck imperceptibly. No doubt she would like to take a look at your notebook. Your pen hovers over the notes you've taken. Missing daughter. Dodgy lady. That's it. You've worked with less. Accept the case. You nod. A missing persons case. Nothing unusual. The conventional little girl runs away from home after reading her first romance novel. Usually they hide at the edge of the forest or in a library. Should be pretty straightforward. Before you can say anything, she drops a photo of the child and a roll of bills on your desk. For your expenses. You nod slowly, trying not to drool down the front of your shirt. You haven't seen this much money in ages. You don't have much time to prepare. A quick search reveals that only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and only once a day. A pattern emerges in your research. The few news items related to this little coastal town are all about missing persons. In addition, you find some rather old-fashioned articles that praise the coastal town as a secret holiday destination. The best fish, untouched beach promenade, authentic fishing people are the reoccurring buzzwords. Dahlia has given you the address at which you're supposed to drop off her daughter as soon as you find her. She's also wrote down her phone number on the child's photo. You take another look at the picture before you pack your things. What a cutie. The next morning you travel. How should we travel? What do you guys think? Oh, am I a little bit laggy? I'll lower the volume too. Shadi, it's like a melody in my head. Go first. Hitchhiking? Let's go! I want to meet some weird people. Your fingers gently stroke the banknotes inside your coat. Wait, what's happening? Oops. As you leave your apartment at dawn, only over your dead body will you waste this money for actual expenses. You've never had good experiences with public transportation, so you decided to give hitchhiking a go. At this time, you usually still roll around in your bed restlessly for another 2 hours or so. Wait, there's a bogue. Okay, 2 hours or so. You're at a park and ride area, which is located at an intersection of 2 country roads. This is where students and low-income earners meet to share the fuel costs of a long trip, and you often see nomads and vagabonds trying to catch a free ride. You're confident you won't be put in the last category, at least not today. Low clouds hang in the Boston sky. The air is gray, cold, and wet, and the progress of your mission depends on the charity and compassion of strangers. Your mood is optimistic. You got a good feeling about this. The secret is to make a good impression so as not to scare away any potential opportunities. It's best to hide your true character until you're in the car. Wow, that's great. This is definitely gonna work. You confidently say out loud. People close to you give you some worried looks. Little girl whose family has just parked their fully loaded van points wordlessly at you. Her mother takes note of you and turns up her mouth. Look, Mom, a poor person. The little one finally delivers her verdict cheerfully. My God. Poor? That's really an exaggeration of the facts. And on top of that, rude. Me. That's me. Threaten to beat her up. You lift your hand threateningly. I'll show you what it feels like to look poor in the face. You hiss towards her and regret it immediately. Before you know it, her mother comes to the rescue and covers her child's ears, her eyes staring daggers at you. What? The girl asks, confused, and gropes her ears. You really are a disgrace to expose my little darling to such low puns. Poor in the face. What is that even supposed to mean? Your mouth is getting dry. Try to evade further conflict. I haven't had any coffee yet, you say somewhat apologetically, but the family can't hear you anymore. They have demonstratively moved a good 10 feet away from you. Good social distancing. You're ashamed of this brief moment of loss of control. You expose this child to a bad pun. What a monster you are. It's time to consider the options. 3 other hitchhikers have positioned themselves at the exit. Why am I laggy sometimes? At the exit of the parking lot. A student couple and a punk with a towel around his shoulders. Every now and then a car stops and the driver winds down the windshield to have a few words with them. You join them. These people seem to be experienced hitchhikers. Maybe you can learn from them. Hey, you call out to the couple, hesitantly waving your hand. Hey, says one. Hey, says the other. There you go. Where you heading? You ask the others. The young couple exchange their insecure looks. Springfield? The woman mumbles without looking you in the eye. The two were probably not prepared for conversation with other travelers. The punk ignores you. He's already flagged down a car and is talking to its driver. He disappears in the passenger door. You stand at the edge of the exit on the parking lot and throw yourself into a provocative pose. Just act normal. You walk up and down the side of the road, wave at oncoming traffic. Every now and then, the drivers actually slow down and crank down their windows. You exchange a few words with them, but it's not until the 7th attempt that the driver replies that he's actually going to Innsmouth with his wife and that they would like to take you with them for a small share of the fuel money. Jackpot. So cute. You squeeze yourself into the remaining seat in the back of the station wagon, between ice boxes and sports equipment and fumble for the safety belt. The engine revs and the car starts moving. Delighted, you notice that the interior of the car is warm and cozy, the ideal ride. There are cookies, and Ellen offers tea from the thermos. The journey is quick and without any further hitches. Let me know if you need anything. Should we mention the case? I'm not sure if we should. I feel like maybe we shouldn't mention the case. Nah. You lean back, the landscape rushes past you, but you don't notice much of it. It's so cozy that you soon fall into a light sleep, which is only interrupted whenever your head tips forward. You make yourself a little more comfortable and actually manage to fall asleep. At some point, the vehicle leaves the country road and turns near a wooden sign that says Innsmouth, written in big red letters, which are slowly peeling off the sign. Your journey continues along a narrow and bumpy country lane with lots of potholes. In the distance, you can already make out a few houses. Seagulls are circling the roofs of the far side of the coastal town. You approach another wooden sign with the words, "Car on Diversion," scrawled on it messily. An arrow underneath points to the right. The sign points away from the route that leads directly to Innsmouth, presumably a diversion. You're sure the other board directly underneath, with the word "other routes," actually points in a direction leading directly into the town. Okay, wait, I'm confused. Cars on diversion. An arrow underneath points to the right. Points away from the route that leads to Innsmouth. That's weird, okay. George is already indicating and wants to turn into the diversion lane. Just ask him. What is happening here? Oh, that's her arm. I was confused for a second. You'd rather not follow the diversion. Can't we just continue straight ahead? We're nearly there anyway. Ellen makes a dismissive sound. Oh no, I don't think so. No breaking the rules. I know how it goes. We'll end up getting a ticket and George will be grumpy all weekend. Yeah. George grumbles and turns to follow the diversion. The vehicle turns off to follow the diversion route. An even bumpier path leads you to not the city center, but to what, with only a good deal of goodwill, could be called a parking lot. The road stops right at the entrance of the parking lot. Above the entrance, another makeshift wooden sign reads, Innsmouth Park and Rest Area in red paint. Free. We wish you a pleasant stay. You can't help but feel a bit disturbed. Something strikes you as odd. It's fresh red paint. The red writing on the sign must be fresh. As you get closer, you can see some thin lines that have trickled down the wooden boards. You almost expect to see a young boy in dungarees with a fresh paintbrush sticking out of his back pocket. Any other tourist department would have had an actually printed sign made by real designers, not this bizarre makeshift construct. You disapprove. The fresh paint could drip on any passing car. A big splotch of paint splatters onto your windshield. Ellen squeals loudly. Damn it! George grunts. He turns on the windshield wiper and the gelatinous mass spreads even more across the windshield. There seems to be sticky bits in it also. Oh, George, how are we gonna get rid of this tree resin? That's what it is, right? Can you still see anything? Yeah. Jordan leans forward to try and squint through the red film in front of him. The parking lot seems to be popular. It is only after 10 minutes that Ellen spots a space in which the car fits. This is so stupid. I bet locals also park their cars here. George keeps grumbling. What do you mean they gotta sound like that? Of course they sound like that. But they mean well. It's a nice yeah. There's a bug, wait. But they mean well. It's a nice gesture, isn't it? Damn it. Come here. Ellen looks at you imploringly. I get it. I don't know if I got it. Yeah. You agree with Ellen. George starts to giggle. Oh, great. Yeah, there is a bug. Ellen says dismissively, now the two of you are conspiring against me. George touches Ellen tenderly on the arm and kisses her nose. Eventually, she starts to giggle also. Cute. Okay, let's settle finances. George suggests all business-like as soon as you step out of the car into the dusty parking lot. Finances. You're disgusted. One moment you were sure that this nice couple had taken you along out of the goodness of their hearts. You deemed it a cosmic sign for your righteous mission as a defender of the law. Now you realize it was stone-cold profit-seeking calculation. It feels as if someone has told you yet again that Santa isn't real. Wasn't it charity and brotherly love that made this nation great? You think it's simply inhumane to demand money for something so trivial as transport? Pretend that you're deaf. A sudden idea strikes. You'll simply pretend to be deaf. This routine has saved you from many precarious situations. You give a crooked smile and shrug your shoulders. You start making a few gestures which you have specially learned for this purpose. Your hands move and the fingers make a series of signs, which, if you remember correctly, asks about the location of the closest library. George and Ellen look at you puzzled. What are you doing? Ellen asks tentatively. You point at your ears and raise your shoulders again with an apologetic smile. Are you deaf? But we were just talking to you. Throw sand into George's face. Keep gesticulating. Do we keep pretending it? Do we just throw sand onto George? Keep doing it. If you learned anything from politics in the last few years, it's this. Just because a lie is crude, transparent, shameless, and directly contravenes common sense and the established knowledge of those who are being lied to, doesn't mean that this lie is going to fail. You just have to keep at it. Your fingers keep moving and continue to make shapes, and when you run out of the signs you have learned, you make shapes that look like animals. This is literally the stupidest thing I've ever seen. George grumbles. Ellen looks at you pensively and then whispers something into his ears. You can only make out little snippets of the conversation. Poor. Must be desperate. Embarrassed. George rolls his eyes and shakes his head. Ugh, I can't believe this. Ellen squeezes his arm and nods at him with wide eyes. He shrugs dismissively and shuffles back to the car to unload the suitcases. Ellen gives you a big thumbs up and a wide smile before helping George. You did it! In the end, it doesn't matter whether they believe the death routine or whether they were just pitying you. The result is the same. You saved a few bucks, and all it cost you was your dignity. Well done, really. Good job, man. With quick steps, you make your way into the town center in the direction of the coastline. Not long ago, the sun was bright in the sky, but already the first wafts of mist are creeping into the streets. The air feels heavier and the sun can no longer penetrate the fog. Time to think about where you want to go. You slow down, leaning your briefcase against a wall. You start pacing along a quiet alleyway. You got an important choice to make right now. The city center is in the north. Even from afar, you can see the outlines of the old and ornately decorated buildings in the main town square. Here you should find the police station, the main shopping street, and of course, the town hall. As a coastal town, Innsmouth, of course, also has a harbor. During your research, you found out that this is a busy area which includes a dreamy beach. You expect there to be mostly tourists. The old town, according to your research, has the only hotel in town, the Gilman Hotel. You could decide to check in and freshen up. Just when you set off, your heart leaps into your throat. Where a moment ago your briefcase was leaning against the wall, now is nothing. Disturbed, you walk up and down the street, peer into alleyways and over a fence, but there is no one in sight. Did you actually bring your briefcase and put it down here? Or are you going mad? At least you can take comfort in the idea that the thief will be surprised by what he will find when he opens his briefcase. Quite a lot of sweets. You think you can cope with the loss of your briefcase. Luckily, You did not take anything useful or valuable on your trip. You checked the alley one last time. Apart from a pair of moving curtains on one of the windows, you don't notice any clues that could lead you to the culprit. It doesn't matter now. It's important that you keep moving. There are only a few hours left until the sun goes down. The first thing you visit is... which one should we visit? What do you guys think? The city? Okay. Innsmouth Town Square, the beating heart of the city, a big attraction for local tourism. It is animated by groups of visitors who are chatting away in the sun. A lot less animated are the lethargic locals who are lurching about the square. A rather creepy-looking fountain is in the middle of the square. A gigantic fish-like stone statue stretches its claws towards the sky with water flowing out of its menacing jaw. The water sprays into the air, providing a refreshing breeze to the tourists sitting around the edge of the fountain. Looking at it closely now, it all rather looks like a giant drooling fish monster. The square is surrounded by handsome old buildings, although the side streets reveal the true Innsmouth, crumbling facades, just far enough away that the average tourist doesn't notice them immediately. You also notice the mean grimaces of gargoyles sternly looking down into the visitors from the corners of the building. Oh, right there. You make a mental note to block out the Innsmouth architecture in the future. At first glance, you can see the town hall and a police station behind the fountain. There should be a few more public facilities nearby, but you don't notice anything right now. You decide to... I think we should scope out the surroundings. The town center is dilapidated and seems to be completely dead. None of the footpaths are maintained and weeds have worked their way into every crevice. I'm starting to die. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Where is the game? Oh, there you go. Okay, hello. Much better. Okay. You notice carelessly dumped fast food packages, beer bottles, and other trash. Some of the narrow side streets between the houses are so crammed with bulky trash that you wouldn't be able to walk along them. Many of the houses are in poor state of repair. Cracked windows, loose wooden boards hanging off the walls, and doors nailed shut. It's impossible to tell in which color the houses were originally painted. You were struck by a bad stench several times, the cause of which you would rather not investigate. As you keep walking, you get to a kind of shopping street with a number of small shops. Half of them seem to be abandoned. The first shop on the corner is a snack bar. It's named Joe's Pizza and Burger. Joe's Pizza and Burger. It's printed. The stuff always seems like, maybe it's just like the. Oh my god! What's my? Give me a damn second. Hey PC boy, how you doing? Did you finally figure out how to play? How to play on the Minecraft server? Okay. Joe's Pizza and Burger is printed in big letters on individual sheets of paper. Right next to it there is a shop for fishing gear. Then a hairdresser just a few doors down. In that shop window, you can see faded photos of the trendiest haircuts that the 1970s had to offer. Behind the hairdresser, you can make out a kiosk selling sweets and magazines, and also a liquor store wedged in between two empty buildings. Opposite, you find a shop whose name seems to be Zan. Judging by the window, it's a music store. At the other end of the street, there's a building with the inscription Argam Akkades. The letters are made from neon tubes, but some appear to have burnt out and have never been replaced. So I guess Arkham Arcades? You lost everything because of the reset and because I went AFK and thought I closed? Well, we're gonna have some issues with the server. It is a very small server. We're trying our best to make everything just work before anybody gets any like large amount of progress. If we do need to reset again, I don't think that we're gonna have to reset again. So like I feel you. I had to do the reset too. I lost my little house stuff, but none of us have made like an incredible amount of progress. Like we haven't. I don't think any of us have finished any of like the little projects we've started. All right, let's continue. Maybe some of the shopkeepers will be able to tell you more about your client. You need to decide which shop to enter. Let's look at the boarded up shops. Apart from these, the shopping street doesn't have much else to offer. Faded wooden signs sway gently in the wind and identify one shop as a bookstore, another as a DIY store. The shop windows are boarded up. You need to decide which shop to enter. Okay. Let's go to the barber shop. As you approach the barbershop, you first wonder if it's permanently closed. What you initially thought was a reflection of light is actually dirt. Are there no hygiene inspectors in this town? You hesitate about whether or not to enter. Just enter. The chime of the doorbell is the only greeting as you step through the door. The shop seems abandoned and a thick layer of dust has settled on the chairs and upright hair dryers. A line pattern adorns the wash basins and floor. Looks like some water damage that no one cared enough about to sort. I said that backwards. Just as you begin to wonder why the store was open at all, you hear it. A peaceful snore. Just look behind the counter. Careful not to lean on the dusty counter, you try to make out the source of the snoring. In a rather uncomfortable, twisted position, a man in his 60s is lying on the ground with his head propped up on a shelf. Has he fallen off his chair? Has he injured himself? The man opens his eyes and you quickly dart back, but you're sure that he spotted you already. A hand slams on the counter and soon the gentleman attached to the hand gets up. With the embarrassment of a gentleman who's fallen asleep during a gala dinner, the shopkeeper adjusts his glasses and hair. He stares at you in disbelief. I'm sorry about that, Beezy Boy. I found a mine shaft too, but where it got reset, so it's okay. Because you start again, it's just a game. And you'll find a different mine shaft. You'll find more diamonds. It's okay. Yeah, I died earlier, like 20 minutes ago, too. Lost all meat potatoes. He stares at you in disbelief. Oh, jeez. Oh, he's not looking good. What do you want? What? No, wait. What do you want? What do you want? Wait. What do you want? I'm trying to... What do you want? We'll just keep going. It's okay. We're playing the Innsmouth Case today. You're actually not that interested in what's happened here, so you get straight to the point. You get out the Polaroid. I'm looking for a missing girl. Tabitha Marsh? The man glances at the picture, then at you. His bright eye starts twitching uncontrollably and he hisses at you. What do you want from me? Maybe this isn't a good time. Why does he look like a fish? Ask for a haircut. Well, why do people go to the barber? You say carefully. The barber gasps for air and lifts himself a few more inches. You want me to cut your hair? What is this voice I'm doing? The guy's a bit too excited for your taste, but he seems to have found some sense of purpose. Let Noel know in the chat for it, okay? You can @ Noel. Let him know that, okay, PC boy? Of course! Goodness, if only you hadn't entered this store. The barber claps his hand and hurries over to the sink to prepare it for the hair wash. You take off your hat and run your hands over your bald head. No! Oh, I want to go back. Oh, no. Try to calm him down. Sir, calm down. This is a simple misunderstanding. With a surprisingly smooth movement, Mr. Baldwin suddenly holds a blade against your throat. You think you can just wander into my shop, cause a scene, and make fun of me? The blade firmly pushes against your throat. Get away with it. A cut. A burning cessation. Don't think so. Chill out, man. Chill out. Oh. Hey, we got an ending. Mr. Baldwin cut your head off. Just a little off the top. Cute. Well, that was fantastic. don't know, should we keep going? It's actually almost singing time. I think we should just go ahead and go into singing time. I did it. I did it. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do a little bit more. We'll do a little bit more. Okay, so we already saw this. So let's choose. Oops. What did I click on? Oh, we went to the arcade. Okay. The game's arcade is hard to miss. At the end of the dead shopping street, a shrill neon sign draws attention to itself. You think it looks rather retro, although the people of Innsmouth will probably think it's a state-of-the-art design. As you approach, familiar sounds start ringing in your ears, a heady mix of cheaply produced gun sound effects and mysterious sounds from pinball machines. The cocktail of synth effects gives you a jolt of nostalgia. Happy memories flood your brain. Your first beat-em-up game when your opponent, a super limber, septuagenarian yoga dude who played the boxer, ripped you apart, and all those exciting moments when you managed to win. What? The few tourist families who have ventured into the city center while you were all dragged in here were all dragged in here by their excited children. Now you two pass through the gates to the realm of flashing lights and bad ventilation. It's extremely dark and the screens of the devices appear to be the only light source. Families, slackers, groups of teenagers, and individual children crowd together in front of screens to catch a glimpse of the games that are currently being played, or to have a shot of playing themselves. The arcade is smaller than the elaborate archway initially suggested, but the equipment is not so bad for the small coastal town. Everything is beeping and flashing. Look at the games! One of the most important lessons you have learned, not from your own cases, but from television, is to look out for the small things. Only an absolute beginner would ignore the slot machines and look for the missing girl straight away. You, on the other hand, are playing the long game. Maybe you'll see her name token on one of the high score tables. Maybe you'll be able to improve your own reflexes, toughen yourself, and steel your nerves by playing a few rounds. A little girl is missing, but you'd rather play a round of computer games. But don't worry, no one will ever find out. How often will you return to Innsmouth? You ask yourself. The answer, of course, is hopefully never again. So you might as well make the most of it and try to leave new high scores for posterity. You're interested in the first-person shooters. Fantastic. Who would have thought that you'd come across one of your favorite games here in Hicksville? Shooter games obviously cost more money, but the graphics are the best. The pixel blood sprays abundantly, and you can shoot at the screen with neon plastic weapons. Annoyingly, this is where the most people are queuing. It will take a while until it's your turn, but from what you can see on the screens, you're sure it will be worth it. Her choice is Mason of the Unliving. Scientists in a secret research lab under, a house have been experimenting with a dangerous zombie virus. When the virus is accidentally let loose and all employees are turned into an army of the undead, it's up to you, the cleaner, to save the world by offing all of them. Doesn't sound too bad. Cute. A good choice. Your target demographic is a lot more alternative than that of the other games. Black t-shirts, black cargo pants, black cargo pants, black beanies. In your brown trench coat, you stand out like a sore thumb from the rest of the gamer crowd. And you're also trice, or 4 times the age of most of the people queuing. Black cargo pants. Right in front of you is a child who only reaches up to your hip. Don't say anything. You know that online and offline, the rule is not to cross the gaming community. Impatiently, you watch a child who still has some of his baby teeth, struggle to reach the control panel. Luckily, he gets overrun by zombie hordes pretty quickly. After a few players are knocked out, it's your turn, quicker than you thought. You put all the coins you have into the machine. Your hands clasp black plastic gun. Feels good. Screen goes black. The slogan, Mason of the Unliving, flashes up. Then the intro of the game starts playing. Lovingly crafted camera work shows some polygon figures which tells you the plot of the game. The message, pull trigger to skip, keeps flashing up from time to time. Keep watching the intro. Headquarters of Parasol Corp., a healthcare company, after a disappointing second quarter, shareholders demanded some drastic measures such as redundancies or the openings of new markets to increase dividends. Wow, who would have thought the developers of a zombie shooter would actually take the story seriously? Aww. You're genuinely curious about where all of this is going. But there's resistance behind you. Boring! Someone cries. Hey, you gotta pull the triggers and it'll skip. Apparently, the people around you are not interested in watching the intro. Don't you want to know what happens next? You turn around and look at the young people around you. Nope. Come on, man, start! You wonder whether they have a point. Alright, fine. Finally, man. People behind you are cheering and seem to be eagerly waiting on another bloodbath. Bloody letters splatter on the screen and let you know about your mission. Level 1. Survive. Is that all? With nothing but a handgun, your character stands in a seemingly endless corridor. Hordes of zombies, roaring zombies come at you. Yeah! Yes! Your audience is visibly excited about the upcoming battle for survival. You shoot at the pixelated heads and those enemies you've hit slowly turn transparent and vanish. You seem to have endless ammunition and you only need to shoot outside the screen to reload. After what feels like 100 kills, you start to feel bored. Why was there a queue for this machine? Your motivation to stay alive dwindles rapidly and is being replaced with the desire to do something useful, maybe even solve your case. The zombies overrun you and wordly see you hand the plastic gun to the next player. Oh well. The machine took all your coins, but it was worth it. Oh my god, I'm dead. So you give the search for Tabitha another go, but given the bad lighting here, even if the girl were standing...
to the dark side.
Thank you for following, Pixels! Welcome to the void. Give the search for Tabitha another go, but given the bad lighting here, even if the girl were standing a mere 2 yards away from you, there's no way you could recognize her. After walking around the machine a couple of times, you give up on finding her in the arcades. You leave the arcades on wobbly legs. After all the flashing colors, incessant beeping, and shooting sounds, you welcome the dullness of the shopping street. Let's take a sip. Some sippy sip. The evening has already begun. Have you really wasted the whole afternoon here? It's unfortunate, but a good investigator knows when to admit defeat. After all, you were paid in advance. It's time to go to a hotel. The Gilman Hotel. Darkness has befallen Innsmouth. The old-fashioned gas lights illuminate... Oh, 4 hydrations. Keep sec, keep sec. I see. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Good evening. Old-fashioned gaslights illuminate a few patches along the dark alleyways, but generally it doesn't look as if the town planners were too fussed with providing adequate lighting. Some streets are completely plunged into darkness. You struggle more and more to find your way around. Was this awful gargoyle already here early in the afternoon, or are you in the wrong part of the town altogether? When you're almost about to give up your search for the Gilman Hotel and resign to finding a cozy spot somewhere on the curb, you see it, the outline of the hotel roof. Luckily, the hotel is set apart clearly from the misshapen nearby tenement. The Gilman Hotel is an architectural masterpiece! Although right now in the dark you can't make out many of its stylistic features, the hotel majestically rises 4 stories above the rickety houses that surround it. Sea of leaves glints in the light of the moon. Must be ivy. An empty parking lot makes you think that the hotel must still have rooms available. You feel like you've been followed for a long time, the growing paranoia and constant glancing over your shoulder. You'll be able to forget all of this very soon. You follow the path leading up to the entrance and come up to a standstill in front of the massive oak door. Your hand touches the cold metal handle. You press it down and pull, but to your surprise, the door doesn't open. Is it a push? You just gotta push. Let's ring the doorbell. Surely it should be possible to wake up the concierge, the lobby boy, their underpaid intern. Under a polished brass sign that reads, Best Hotels Competition 1928, First Round Competitor. You find the doorbell. You press down on the button for a second, then again for longer, and then once more for good luck. Whenever the doorbell is ringing, you can't hear its chime out here. You press the button a few more times. By now, some angry person should be here to threaten you with physical violence. Nothing. The owner of the hotel is making it very difficult for you to spend your money. Knock on the door. They've asked for this. Hoping to maybe wake up one of the hotel guests, you pound your fist against the door. Apart from a bit of dust falling off the door frame from your efforts are in vain. You only produce muffled sounds and you doubt that anyone inside will hear them. It's hard to believe, but the architecture of the hotel seems to be of very high quality. You begin to wonder why anyone would waste their exquisite workmanship in a place like Innsmouth. Alright. Look for another way in. You walk around the property. Metal bars in front of the windows make it impossible to simply climb inside. But you had at least hoped to find a lit window which you could knock on to make yourself known to someone inside. They won't even let you give one of the night shift staff a good scare. All the rooms inside the hotel seem to be in complete darkness, including the foyer. No one is working. No one is having a drink at the hotel bar. The whole building seems to be completely shut down. Keep walking around the hotel. You walk around the whole hotel, still hoping to find a lit window somewhere. No such luck. Soon you're back at the entrance. It's hard to believe such a thing is possible these days, but the hotel really seems to be closed. No one is allowed in or out for that matter. You're a little bit late, spray and play, but welcome to the stream. We're just doing a bit more. And then it'll be singing time in a little bit. So, you still have singing time. Do the guests know that they're locked in the building overnight? Will there be another gormless tourist in an hour or two trying to get in just like you are now? Not actually your problem, you remind yourself. You turn around, leave the hotel behind you, and walk back to the street. You wander the streets, the dark clouds spread out from the sea, like claws that ominously reach for the town. Reach for you. The sun has set and the temperature is dropping fast. The air, too, gets cooler and a rough wind whips through the alleys. You're lost. Oh. Hi, man. I didn't know who you were. You have no idea how to get out of this godforsaken town. And as if that weren't bad enough, you also underestimated the September weather on the coast, and the real cold temperature is still yet to come. Scattered raindrops do not bode well. You aimlessly wander the streets. The narrow alleys are a labyrinth of simple wooden fisherman huts. At least you're not completely on your own. Look at that. Even at this late hour, there are groups of people out patrolling. Torches and pitchforks and knives and nets. Why torches and pitchforks? Stay in the shadows. It's not necessarily the knives and nets that make you worried. It's the limp that many of the villagers have, which makes you nervous. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube, Dragon. Welcome to the Void. It's the limp that many of the villagers have, which makes you nervous. The people don't walk, they waddle. stagger, stumble, and shuffle with their upper bodies lifted up like malicious trolls in a fantasy film. You have found refuge behind some old barrels in a narrow side street. You're left to simply huddle up here, but in the middle of the alley, you are without protection against the rain. The pitchforked mob still hasn't noticed you. You wonder what to do next. I think we should just keep moving through the town. One alley follows the next. The ground is muddy with knee-deep puddles. The paths are lined with run-down huts and consisting of nothing but a few bricks and corrugated iron roofs piled on top of each other. You must be in the old town, an area that is definitely not being advertised in the travel brochures. The very moment your cerebellum wants to complain about being bored, you run straight into the arms of a patrol. Ah, damn it. Although they haven't noticed you yet. Undecided, the group has gathered in the middle of the road and seems to be discussing their options. Nevertheless, they are alert and keep checking their surroundings. You reckon that they will discover you soon because here, in your position, you are a sitting duck. Your heart is pounding. It'll be alright. The people of Innsmouth sometimes behave a bit strangely, you admit, but that's no reason to become a paranoid oddball, too. Without a disguise, but with a winning smile, you walk out to a small group of townfolk. Hey, Weave, how are you? There! There! Screams the front man of the group, an old fisherman with a white bushy beard. He waves his torch in your direction. His friend limps towards you, their rags and rain jackets and rags flap awkwardly against their body. Yeah. How do you say it? Wait. Yeah. I know that A with the two dots is how would you say that then? Or yeah. Cthulhu Fatagan. Cthulhu Fatagan. Considering they're a limping horde of deformed lunatics, they manage to surround you quickly. The light of the torches dancing in the rain make the already scary faces look even more bizarre. Nervously, they lick their bulging lips while they stick out their torches, knives, and pitchforks to keep you in check. You wonder if the people of Innsmouth suffer from radiation poisoning. It would explain so much. Oh my god. Hey, you there! The leader of the mob spits at you. A wolfish grin spreads over the man's face. With his free arm, he makes a few hasty gestures, and suddenly you can feel the grip of strong hands clasping around your arms. Oh my god. He has strong hands. You stare in some strangely deformed, elongated pupils. Oh my god, does he have like goat eyes? We're going to have some fun tonight. Hello? Hello? I think we're back. I think we're back now. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay, we're back. Okay. Freezing, cold, voices, whispering, arguing. Raindrops that roll off your head. A pungent smell of fish that you have almost gotten used to. Damn it. Your cheek is pressed against something cool. It's me. I'm the cool thing. After the first moment of disorientation, you realize that you're lying somewhere out on the street. You open your eyes. The situation is not new to you. On several drunken nights in Boston, you have ended up near a trash can on a dodgy side street. This is perfectly normal. You groan as you raise your head and immediately regret moving. All you can feel at the back of your head is pain. You have no doubt. You were knocked out. You try to touch the back of your head but fail. You seem to be tied up. Okay, this is definitely not normal. If you guys had the stream crash, just refresh the page so you get the delay fixed. At least now you recognize where you are. It's Innsmouth Town Hall Square. At least 50 villagers have gathered around you. They have huddled together in small groups and are deep in conversation. Relaxed, they rest on their pitchforks and have thrown their fishing nets loosely over their shoulders. Now and then they grin at you. Start complaining. If all else fails, you decide to wallow in self-pity. After all, you have no clue how you got yourself into this situation. You wonder if those gangsters have also stolen your wallet and emptied your bank account. Do they have your apartment key? Have they already been to your crappy apartment in Boston? And what about your goldfish owl? You really should have fed him again before you left. Damn it! You're gonna lose everything! Everything! But they will never take away your online private detective license. Exactly. A worn-down boot suddenly appears in your field of vision. Awake already! A voice croaks from above. With great effort, you manage to look up to see who dares to interrupt your fit of self-pity. It's the leader of the group, Abraham. How do we know that? Who looks down on you triumphantly. From where you are, you can see all the small tumors that are sprouting from his chin. Ugh, you say involuntarily. You've offended him, and he doesn't show. He gives you a dirty grin. I hope you enjoyed your stay in our little town today, landlubber. Enjoyed? I love it here. You shout enthusiastically. The man blinks. What? Or why? Yes, why precisely? The nice people. The nice people with their sad faces, hunchbacks, and other physical deformities. People who give you the creeps as they continue to watch you silently. There's an anonymity in Boston. A person next to you on the green line could be on fire and you wouldn't pay much attention. Damn. You guys can't hear me whistle. You're a tough guy. I forgot what voice I'm doing. Every time I do the voice, I just forget. You're camping right now? What are you doing? You're a tough guy. I'll give you that. I wonder how long that will last when you're on fire. Fire? Before you can ask for more detailed explanations, you are grabbed by the arms. Some fishermen have silently approached you without you noticing. They jerk you up into the air and carry you over the square. After just a few yards, they slow down. The ground they're walking on seems less solid. You're standing by a stake. Two men in rags and gross bulges on their cheeks undo your handcuffs and tie your arms around the central pole. Yeah, what's this about? The situation is so bizarre. Is this really a stake? Do these people really want to set you on fire at a public space? A bunch of ragged figures with deformed bodies is gathered in the town square. They have quashed noses, gills, and psoriasis that covers the whole face. You're certain that you have not yet met any of these horror figures today. Or did you? Maybe they simply look more harmless in direct sunlight. Finally, about time! Someone shouts annoyed and drowns out all the other conversations taking place in the town square. Looks like someone finally managed to light a torch. Quacked? Quacked? Sullenly, the men march towards you, and in awe, the other villagers make way for them. Not everyone in Innsmouth can light a fire. Two of the men remain with the other spectators, and the torchbearer continues alone until he stands before you on the stage. He turns his back on you and begins to speak to the electric audience. Brothers and sisters. Yeah, Abraham? Yeah? Yeah, what's up, man? Several people respond. It says a lot about the Innsmouth gene pool. Quiet! He growls immediately. I mean, everyone present. Satisfied, he solemnly spreads his arms. You cannot see that the hand in which he holds the torch is a single flap of skin. Ew? Is it a tentacle? It doesn't look like that here. Wrapped around the log. The hour approaches. Oh wait, oops. The hour approaches, and before you stands our tribute to Dagon. We share the sacrifice and the blessing, for we are faithful children of the... He falls silent. A dozen tourists walk out of the next alley along. The villagers look surprised and exchange baffled looks. Some look to Abraham for help. Embarrassed, Abraham drops the torch. Cry for help. Help! Hey, help me! Please rescue me! You're in some deeply hurt looks from the villagers, but their feelings are not as high up on your priority list as, say, surviving this night. The tourists look over to you with interest. The first few breaks away from the group and come closer. A young blonde man takes selfies with you and himself at the stake. Sir! Excuse me? Hey, you! Inform the FBI. That's right. The FBI is the right institution to take apart this incestuous, fish-infested town. The man frowns. He looks at you and seems confused. Like a magnet, he's drawn to the screen of his mobile phone. The what? He asks, lost in thought as he types something on the device. This is not going well. Tourists stand in amazement before the stake. Is this one of those medieval games like they do in Salem? Like, to do that over in... Like, they do that over in Europe too, like with knights and stuff like that? Abraham rolls his eyes. Sure, he replies, but that turns out to be the wrong move. The tourist weighs over his companions. The group of tourists assembles in front of the stake, which means that the locals can no longer see you. Some of the rough-looking men in the fishing coats walk up to Abraham and speak to him. They're obviously getting nervous. Meanwhile, a few of the tourists break away. They take pictures of you at the stake. Talk to the tourist. Psst! You there! You hiss at the people taking pictures. The man with the mustache looks up at you irritably. What do you want? Gotta get me out of here! You say feebly. Unbelievable that you have to explicitly ask for it. What's your problem? The man asks. Scream at him. This is not for show. This is all real. You plead with increasing desperation. The man shakes his head in disapproval. I don't like that you're breaking character. Look. He gestures towards the ragged villagers. All those people down there are freezing their bottoms off while you stand up here, snug and in the limelight, so why are you trying to ruin it for everyone, man? God help you. Is he perhaps right? No, damn it! You scream hysterically. This isn't one of your stupid tourist programs. This is life we're talking about. Yeah, really stupid. Someone from the group of the tourists mutters. Who just said that? Thrusting your chin forward aggressively, your audience consists of tourists and increasingly intimidated villagers taking a few steps back. All these people are starting to get on your nerves. Now untie me, or there will be blood! You scream as if in a frenzy. All this is getting too much for the locals, and their numbers visibly dwindle. Unsettled by the presence of the many tourists and your rage, they try to inconspicuously disperse into the dingy side streets that lead off the town square. It is Abraham, of all people, who unties you. Murmuring apologies, he too disappears into the small crowd and then down a dark alley. Are you happy now? One of the tourists asked, piqued. Yes! You scream ecstatically and spray stands of saliva everywhere. Impossible, the man says. This sums up your thoughts pretty succinctly. Disappointed that they were deprived of a free performance, the tourists shuffle on, and you can finally get out of here. Pretty good. I'd say let's end there. I'll go ahead and end there. My timer reset because the stream died. But I know what time we're at. Oh, let's go ahead and end it there. God, it's really hot. Okay. Gonna go ahead and sing for you guys. Alright, it's time for some singing. If you're new to the stream, at the end of every stream I do some singing for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna do it a little quickly today, because it's really hot. I'm gonna turn on the air and you guys are gonna have to deal with the air being on, because it is very hot. Alright, hello. God, it's really hot. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's go. I want to do... I know what I want to do. Let me get it. Let's do this one. Alright, let's go. Good little girl, always making a fight with me, and know that I'm bad. But you're spending the night with me. What do you want from my world? You're a good little girl. What are those chords? E7 and B7. Okay. I like doing an impression of Fiona. She has a very squeaky kind of voice. So I'm gonna duet myself. Let's go. We can do this. Oh, it's pretty cold here too. Okay. Good little girl, Always picking a fight with me, you know that I'm bad. But you're spending the night with me. What do you want from my world? You're a good little girl. Bad little boy. That's what you're acting like. I really don't buy that you're that kind of guy. And if you are, why do you want to hang out with me? Don't you know I'm a villain? Every night I'm out killing, send everyone running like children. I know why you're mad at me. I've got demon eyes and they're looking right through your anatomy. Into your deepest fears, baby, I'm not from here. I'm from the nightosphere. To me, you're clear, transparent. You got a thing for me, girl, it's apparent. I got a hot potato and I got 2 hot tomatoes. Well, they make a good sauce, maybe. So I'll shake my bottle, baby. I'll shake it and shake it and shake it and shake it and shake it all over the table, for as long as I am able. Da 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 da. What is that? BM. So B minor. Like this? Okay. Da 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 da. I'm gonna bury you in the ground. Da 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 da. I'm gonna bury you with my sound. I'm gonna drink the red from your pretty pink face. I'm gonna Marceline, that's too distasteful. Oh, you don't like that? Or do you just not like me? Sorry, I don't treat you like a goddess. Is that what you want me to do? Sorry, I don't treat you like you're perfect, like all your little loyal subjects do. And I'm sorry, I'm not made of sugar. Am I not sweet enough for you? Is that why you always avoid me? There must be such an inconvenience to you. Well, I'm just your problem. Is that? What is that? Okay. I'm just your problem. It's like I'm not even a person, am I? I'm just your problem. Well, I shouldn't have to justify what I do, and I shouldn't have to prove anything to you. I am sorry that I exist. I forget what landed me on your blacklist, but I shouldn't have to be the one that makes up with you. So why do I want to? Why do I want to bury you in the ground and drink the blood from your working for the master, preventing a disaster, building giant ropes from aluminum and plaster. Faster, I had to build a blaster. Yes, for foam and water. Yes, for when it's hotter. I got it's no bother, because I live to please you, Father. know you wanna give your little girl the world. But daddy, I'm not just your little girl. I've got my own life, I've got my own plans. I hope you understand. I like the way that I am. I want your respect and I wanna be here, but I don't wanna rule the nightosphere. You're so annoying, you pitiful old man. I'd like to help you, but I don't know if I can. I thought you were nice, but you're really, 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 really nuts. I feel like nothing was real until I met you. I feel like we connect and I really get you. If I said you're a beautiful girl, would it upset you? Because the way you look tonight, silhouetted, I'll never forget it. Oh, Fiona, your fist has touched my heart. Oh, oh, Fiona, I won't let anything in this world keep us apart. I won't let anything in this world keep us apart. Fiona has that really nasally kind of voice. You gotta hold your nose like this. I won't let anything in this world keep us apart. Exactly, just like Squidward. Marceline, is it just you and me in the wreckage of the world? I must be so confusing for a little girl. And I know you're going to need me here with you, but I'm losing myself and I'm afraid you're gonna lose me too. This magic keeps me alive, but it's making me crazy, and I need to save you. But who's gonna save me? Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you. Marceline, I can feel myself slipping away. I can't remember what it made me say, but I remember that I saw you frown. I swear it wasn't me, it was the crown. This magic keeps me alive, but it's making me crazy, and I need to save you. But who's gonna save me? Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you. Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you. Alright, now everyone go to sleep. Don't be weepy, sleepy puppies. Slip your slippers on your footies. In the morning you'll get goodies. Puppy hats and puppy hoodies. No, heaps of polka dots. Heather gray and feather soft. Baby pink or baby blue. All the drawstrings you can choose. Let's go ahead and finish up. Finish up. Finish up. Finish up. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I might be busy tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream. I will schedule it if I know that I'm gonna be available, okay? And then on Tuesday, I start my new job, so wish me luck. I'm lying on the moon, my dear, I'll be there soon. It's a quiet, starry place. Times were swallowed up in space. We're here a million miles away. There's things I wish I knew. There's no thing I'd keep from you. It's a dark and shiny place, but with you, my dear, I'm safe and we're a million miles away. We're lying on the moon. It's a perfect afternoon. Your shadow follows me all day, making sure that I'm okay. And we're a million miles away. I looked at you and said, oh baby, am I crazy? So tenderly you watch me burn, no. So tell me, am I crazy? Cause I do, cause I do. La la la, la 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 la. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. It turned off right when I finished. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you guys on the Minecraft server. If you guys get on, if I get on. If you guys aren't part of it already, you guys can join the Discord and go into the Void SMP text channel to get some more information about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. Bye, everyone.